I have a lot of health challenges going on. And so, we're focusing on thoughts and emotions and data. But I was wondering if you could talk about sensations. I have a lot of physical, very intense sensations that are ongoing at the moment, like nausea. Nobody likes nausea.
Mhm.
And then, of course, from the sensation, mind gets involved. I don't like it. Emotions get involved. Oh, I just need to stop this. The storyline kicks in. This is going on too long. And so I'm having a difficult time to rest in open intelligence, like in the midst of very intense nausea. So, does anyone have any input on that, please?
Hmm. Yes, we can also open up for shares if someone has
Yeah,
shares about that. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Generally, it's perfect. Also, you're just starting the 12 empowerments.
yeah,
Actually, your recognition of just what it brings up is first of all powerful, right? Of course, nobody likes nausea, like you said. Nobody
mm,
wants that. So it's nothing wrong with not wanting it and wanting it to go away. So
yeah,
that's first of all normalizing, and then um, doing the best with just taking a short moment without it having actually any benefits is
yeah,
is also okay for now.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
that that's nice for that circumstance where we feel we are struggling with
yeah,
physical emotions, but continuing to listen maybe to a talk, maybe that's easier than reading something or whatever is helpful in that moment, or maybe it's
yeah,
just nothing, but and and um, and just resting the body.
yeah,
um, Finding ways that is supportive for oneself while maybe listening. But initially, those kinds of circumstances feel very difficult.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
to continue reminding, and it's okay that it feels difficult. We really want to get rid of it. We can hear maybe also people who have, once you gain confidence more and more in open intention, go through the empowerments, you can use these kinds of examples that are just right now there in daily life, and you'll take it through the process of the empowerments because then they have space to be seen and warmed up in open intelligence naturally. So you don't need to effort before you go through it, so to
mhm,
speak. Yeah.
yeah. May I
Um,
say one more thing?
yes, please.
So, and thank you. That's a beautiful response. So, I have read the first book, One Simple Change. And so another thing is, you know, all of these data are all part of open intelligence and they're all equal. And I struggle with some things like, nausea and then, the mental data around that. And sometimes I find myself questioning, how can this be equal to being happy and feeling well? I mean, it's just what my mind is doing at the moment. I'm becoming more familiar with the practice, and this arises in my mind. So I'm just curious about that. Any advice on how to see everything as equal?
I'm happy to chime in here and then also circle back to the nausea for a moment. But the equalness is that's everybody has, I think literally everybody has that question at some point.
Yeah,
And the equalness is not in the description or in how it feels. Like the equalness is in the nature of data. So like all the reflections in a crystal ball are equal because they're all reflections. They don't look the same. Like if I have my face or your face, they will look different. Like the crystal ball will look different. The unchanging essence of the crystal ball is unchanging. So all the images in the crystal ball are equal and even in being reflections in the crystal ball. So all the phenomena in the mind, you could say, are equal in their nature as being phenomena appearing in mind. Each one is completely distinct, unique, and different if we describe them. So the equalness cannot be found, and it shouldn't be found in trying to like have one neutral kind of line of everything is equal, right? So, and circling back briefly to the nausea, I had food poisoning a few months ago,
Oh
and
dear.
I know the feeling like I wake up at midnight or something, and I already know, uh-oh. I know what's going to happen because the feeling is very distinct,
Yeah.
and I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this practice for 20 years and I still don't want it. I would still rather like just pull my blanket up and fall asleep and not need to spend the night in the bathroom. But I didn't have that choice. The only choice I had was to either suffer while this whole thing was going on, or to allow myself and my body to go through the motions with as much ease as I could find by resting and not going into any kind of tension around it. Maybe that's the best description I think I can find. So it's still, of course, my body goes through all kinds of tensions in that moment, and the content, going back to that, the content of my mind is definitely different than sitting on the beach and, having a nice time. But there is an underlying ease and spaciousness that can be present even then. It's, as we said, it's not always easy to see that in those moments because it's so intense that naturally we're wrapped up and we're so occupied with trying to find out which food it was, or what I need to do to maybe get at least a little bit of sleep tonight, or like it's so compelling to go into the descriptions. um so over time we can let our mind and body do whatever they do, and part of that includes making ourselves comfortable. I just wanted to say that as well. Sometimes it sounds like the recommendation is don't try to make yourself feel better, just rest with everything and stop there. And then we feel we need to endure pain and just rest. But it's more that we rest and then do, if there is anything to do, we can do whatever might be supportive. Like find out when I can drink some electrolytes or call a doctor to get an IV, or all the things that we then did. And resting then just helps to have a clearer perspective on what might actually be helpful.